Hello, hello family. It's been a really long time. I don't really have anything to talk about, but I know a lot of people have been wondering where I disappeared to, only because I went offline for the whole month of May, since the last week or so of April. Many reasons for this. Mostly the energies are just beyond beautiful. They're just off the charts amazing, exquisite, divine. Just I'm finding the last many months as a gatekeeper and a grid keeper, and the different things that we fulfill in service for different roles for humanity and higher consciousness here. I'm finding the theme for me since the completion, if you will, of the 12D template, which changed everything for how we fulfill our roles here. And so, each month has been a little bit more and a little bit more. I have noticed the theme for myself with working with the different grids, New Earth grids, with working with the different Gaia's grids, the universal gridding system, the cosmic. It's more of a networking system. It's not really a grid. It's a plasma grid, if you will, which isn't a grid. It's very different than the other gridding systems. And when we work with these, we work with our physical body. We work with each one of the grids and networking systems. We have the crystalline grids. We have the unified field of consciousness that we live and exist through and function from. But we also have all of these, when we're activating all of these different light codes, they're template codes. The template building process used to take, and all I can go by is my journey, okay, and my observations of everybody else's journey based upon and relative to physical body density, the amount of programming held, how long it takes to implement and apply and live these higher consciousness codes to our lives, every aspect of our lives. Over the years, it took, and in a way it still does, but kind of not really. It would take a year and a half to 2 years to complete an entire template build once the codes start coming through. Holding those codes, implementing those codes, applying those codes and geometrics to our everyday life. And this year's different, personally, because now it's, and I didn't even realize this until this morning when I was observing everything that we're doing. Now it takes an entire month to complete the entire regridding process, the entire template build, from the point that new codes come through. The entire month is dedicated to completion of an entire template build. Right now I'm still in the one, and it's funny that it's fallen linearly because I don't do anything linear. Anybody that knows me knows I don't. But it seems that these are taking the entire month to complete. The entire template rebuild, which will be a breaking down of any old structures and systems, a breakdown, a breaking down, a recoding process, a template clearing process of anything that isn't highest aligned with those new codes. Part of the reason why I went offline all of May, which will be many reasons, not just one, but we're constantly restructuring our entire reality. and aligning it vibrationally to a much higher vibrational, to a much more in tune on a soul level. Everything has to be tuned, everything has to be harmonized, everything has to be recoded, reconstructed, restructured in all new ways. And the geometrics and the codes that come through for those, then for those who do this consciously and purposefully and intentionally and through dedicated service for what we came here to be and do, everybody is fulfilling their own roles perfectly for wherever they are. It's just that for each one of us, that's going to be different. And so each process and phase, we have different codes. Each process and phase, we have different purposes. And so fulfilling each one of these will change as we all go. And so for me, this was to pull completely away. I went completely offline as far as the internet went, other than just a couple few things that were just completely a necessity. Everything, it's like let everything go, all of it. And it did, except for the things that I had planned, coming together with those that we work with, in creating and accomplishing our vibrationally higher aligned realities, and the beautiful exchanges, the working in through and living as unity consciousness. This month was Oneness Codes. They came through at the end of April, if you will, and so the whole month. Now, it's not that they're new, because we went through, for me personally, when I went through ascension of conscious, which is just a returning to full consciousness. It's in different phases and processes. Coming through, if you will, and I break everything down into dimensions to explain it all, but you know, sometimes we just have to let all that stuff go too. It doesn't really matter if you're living from your heart fully, if you are fully aligned on a soul level, if you are living from unity consciousness inside of you in every capacity, living from oneness, full oneness, not using the words we're one, which is really getting it, that we are all one. There are going to be exceptions, if you will, because while we are all one, not everybody lives that way. And so if we don't live that way, it affects our reality. And so observing, tuning, shifting, aligning is a continual part of the process when things aren't already aligned. Now the oneness codes that came through to fully incorporate, fully integrate, and for me that was going to silence. For me that was, you know, I had Eve. Those who know me know that Eve and I have been doing a lot of work together the last few years. She flew in for a couple weeks. We had a ton of things to bang out. We don't stop. We're still accomplishing at a ridiculous rate. It's just at a quantum. It's in a quantum flow. So it's going to be very different than a linear flow. So everything is vibrational and energetic and harmonic and all vibrationally aligned. It's very simple. So the biggest thing this last month in working with a multitude, whether it be through courses and programs or our beautiful community, or personal sessions, or connecting with somebody when they come to the island, or in the interviews. It doesn't really matter how we do this. The theme that I'm noticing is that when we've gone through shifting out of our human ego reality, we're moving back into oneness. We're moving back into this space of consciousness where everything is very simple and easy. And a lot that I have connected with this month, they keep trying to complicate it. It's too easy. It's too simple. A lot of people like, I'm happy. Yes. A lot of comments. And I remember going through this, realizing that I had never been happy, but I didn't know it. Until that moment where my whole being aligned inside, where my whole being felt that peace, felt that beauty, felt that magnificence, felt just that stillness, that oneness, that everything that matters, where everything else falls away, it doesn't matter anymore. Nothing matters. Nothing. Complete detaching from everything of the old. And it's a beginning for all of us when we finally hit that place, when we finally hit that space of home inside of us, where everything is simple. It's almost too simple. I had several this month that kept trying to complicate it. I'm like, it's simple. Don't complicate it. Let it go. It's simple. Come back to this place. It's simple. Get out of your head. Get out of your head. Let it go. It's just about learning to be. And this whole month for me was just being. While I did, while I accomplished, while in not that I haven't been doing that all along, I have. All these years, linearly. That's where we function from. The only difference is that this month, I let work go. It's like, nope. Every day I got up, got ready to write. Nope, not today. Okay. Just be. Just go on, do your work. Get things done in silence and peace. Let it go. Okay. So I would get up. One day I was putting 12 sets of shelves together. It's been a very physical month for getting a lot of stuff accomplished. And then the other days when it's been gateways every day, almost every day, gateways wide open, which are beautiful. Can't you tell? Sorry, my little dress thingy keeps falling down. It's not intentional. I just got up straight out of the bed. I've been working all morning and just walked out here. Just decided I'd try and see if I could do a video for everybody. A lot of people writing in, where'd you go? A lot of people writing in, Lisa, are you okay? Yes, I'm totally fine, guys. Okay? I've been enjoying the beauty, the magnificence, the ease, the simplicity, and coming together with those that we work to accomplish, those that we have realities that are vibrationally aligned, those that we do things together. And we're always, behind the scenes, we're always accomplishing at a ridiculous rate. Okay? The only difference is I haven't been online. I haven't been writing for people. I haven't been sharing anything. This month there was nothing that needed to be shared. And part of the reason is because we're in a time for everybody to figure it out. Figure it out. You got to go inside. You got to figure it out. You got to find that place inside. A lot of people experiencing the magic for the very first time. A lot of people getting it. Realizing how simple it is. And through that simplicity, that's actually how we're able to accomplish a whole lot, because we don't get caught up in drama. We don't have the human ego emotions that take up a lot of energy and time. We don't have the drama. We don't have any of that stuff because we don't keep recreating it in our own reality, and we don't keep calling it forth or inviting it in as reality here. Okay? A lot of multidimensional experiences, a lot of expansion for people, a lot of challenges with the physical body for those who are going through. There are parts of this process that get quite immense. When photonic light takes over, it starts to rule your life, and your energy body and your DNA starts rewriting itself, and you're more prone to template rewrites and cellular cleanses on a greater scale, because you're moving from a physical focus to an energetic alignment or harmonization within yourself. That the Oneness Codes that came through, for me, it's kind of like I'm getting to re-experience everything that again, with the collectives that are experiencing oneness. I get to go through oneness on a whole new level. And there are levels of oneness, okay? In the beginning for us, when we're becoming the universe, it's us becoming one. and it's ours, and it's our oneness, and we feel completely one. But then from that point forward, we have different templates. As we go up the scale, if you will, frequency bandwidth wise, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th dimension, if you will, just levels of consciousness and how we live our lives and how we've restructured our entire reality according to Cosmic Codes, according to Soul Codes, according to Light Codes, according to everything. Then what happens is we're able to, and we start to see everything we agreed to fulfill here. And so our every moment is filled. It's a very soul-filled, fulfilling reality, completely fulfilled, completely aligned. But every moment is filled. You don't have extra time. When we start hitting, once we come through and start to remember and live from this remembered state inside, and then after a period of integration and enjoying and the pure joy and the freedom and the bliss and the magic, then new different processes and stuff will start where each person will start fulfilling their own soul purposes on a different level. We actually have to have been doing this already, usually for years, on a human level. We had to care. But then we start going through the ascension process, which changes everything. And so ascension, returning to our higher, becoming our higher selves, returning, then starts a whole new part of the process where it's actually not hard at all. It's very simple. There's no struggle or fight inside. There's no... The only challenges we have are going to be different challenges, and those are all ego-based too. There's a lot of karmic timeline clearing, but it's much easier to do that, and we will go through a lot of different realities in order for this to occur. When you start doing massive quantum timeline jumping, if you will, it's a collapsing and a convergence of multiple timelines and realities that bring forth everything that we need to support and assist. So it's, while we have a lot to accomplish in a short period of linear time, because we're functioning on a quantum level, how we do this is very different. There's a lot of downtime. There's a lot of honoring the upgrade process. There's a lot of integrating that occurs in order for each person's lives to become easier here. Probably the easiest way for me to explain it. So, okay. I will remain offline except for special events. I will remain offline unless I feel I'm still completing the template. Feels like it's coming to a conclusion, but about a week or two, I felt that too. I got up ready to rock and roll, and it's like, nope, not done. It's like, okay. Then I had a bunch of things occur in my physical reality that needed to be managed, taken care of. Even pretty awesome, she flew in to help, and we were able to complete, almost, got a little bit left to do, the rewrite of Awakening to Remembering as a second edition, an expanded version. So it went from the small little book to now it's like 3 times. So the little simple book, which is just an awakening code, you know, for those who are coming into that part of the process. Chime. I don't know how the sound is on this, so I don't know if you guys are even going to hear me. I'll find out afterwards. Trying a new setup today. I wanted to bring you guys outside with me to feel and experience the awesomeness too, and to be able to have a little bit of the Lemurian energies in the mountain, and the roosters, and the birds. 2. I'm going to conclude this soon just so that I can get back to accomplishing and all. I'll do some more later for you guys. This is mostly for those who've been wondering where Lisa went. I disappeared for a whole month. You guys are used to me writing, supporting, sharing. That role's changing. I wrote, shared for years. Everything is out there. All the light encodements, all the way up to the 12D template, everything that I have written for years. I think starting in 2015, and then accelerating into 2017 timeline for me linearly. Then I started bringing through the 12D codes, completing that with December. So all of the last few years have been avatar consciousness codes, 12D codes, in addition to a lot of the other ones. But it's all out there. Photonic DNA, it's all out there. It's all on my website. I wrote it out. I put it out there. I'm done with all of that part and moving on to the other bazillion things that we are accomplishing and doing and shifting my roles. I'll still write and share. It's just going to be different. Maybe video updates like this. It seems to tend to be maybe a little bit easier. We'll see. But for now, where we are, the oneness codes that came through, and I was observing this morning, last year was all 2222 codes. Those are still there. They don't ever go away. We just add to that. Now we've hit these oneness codes that are bringing more into oneness, which is not a word. It's a unification. It's a living as one, but understanding that this is a vibrationally aligned reality. So just because we all remember being one and we live from that oneness inside, we can come together, we can create, we can accomplish, we can share, it can be beautiful, but it still doesn't mean we're all meant to be in the same physical location all of the time, because we all have such vast roles to fulfill. Then there's a synchronization process. And we're building realities together. We're forming new earth relationships, which are very different than the old. And they're not based on any of old anything. It's all new. And everything is aligned through openness, through caring, through sharing, through extreme, ridiculous generosity. It's such a simple flow, and it's so easy when we actually do come together. The only challenges each has is their own linearity, is their own conditioning, is their own programming, is their own fixed realities, and that's what a lot of people are working through now. Okay. Anything that isn't of that purest form of love inside of each one of us, anything that isn't aligned on a soul level, anything that isn't pure will reflect in our reality out there. The experience will show us what we still hold, what we still allow. I was going to do a May energy report and I didn't get it done. It's like, nope, let it go. So many things, so many energy reports, so many things to share. It's like, nope, let it go. I'm like, okay. May was going to be to pay attention to what you allow. That was going to be a big one, and that's always going to be a big one. But it's also pay attention to what you're creating. Realities are created. So whatever you create and bring forth and think and hold is what we experience in our reality. To live from your heart completely. Get completely out of your head. Every moment, live from your heart fully. There was other stuff. It was actually important, but now I can't remember any of it. So I guess I'll share it as is in flow. These energies, they support everything higher consciousness. They support everything simple and easy. They support beautifully that which is highest aligned. So it as each person embraces this fully, A lot of people clearing immense density. Oh, that's what it was. The rebalancing of electromagnetics has been a continual thing. Every day or two, we'll go through a massive, or maybe 3, sometimes for days. We're in it today. A rebalancing of magnetics, a massive photonic upgrade, a massive photonic blast, a massive waves of photonic light. All these things. The electrical, the bioelectrical system in your body, the electrical thoughts, the magnetics of your emotions, everything being, anything that isn't highest aligned, being uprooted, unearthed, coming up to be felt fully and allowed. We had no clue until I went through it. I had no clue how deeply embedded all the programming was, how deeply embedded inside of us, how deep and how vast our ego was. It isn't until you actually go through it that you can see and understand everything, in order to consciously choose. And so returning, oh, that's the other thing. I'm changing my words. So if you guys, I've told my community and some other people so, but I'm going to explain higher and lower consciousness from the place of. We only use the word higher consciousness when we're referring to the fact that there is a lower consciousness, and it's all vibrational. So lower consciousness being our ego, okay? Higher consciousness being our higher aspect of ourselves. But I'm going to take that one step further now, because I'm going to be changing my words from higher consciousness to original consciousness. And the reason being is because as I was observing everything these last few months, it's our original state of consciousness. Lower consciousness is not our original state. Lower consciousness is where we fell from consciousness, where we went deep asleep, where we separated off, where we lived beneath the veils of amnesia, where we were separate. It's our ego, unconscious programming. And so returning to full consciousness is our original state of consciousness. And so the human aspect of us gets offended when it starts hearing about the ego. It doesn't like to hear about all this stuff, and that just means there's some ego stuff to clear. And I don't worry about that so much, okay? But for the sake of using a new word, because we do change our words all along the way, as our awareness expands, as we get to see and understand, we change our words. And so now I will be referring to this a lot of the times as our original state of consciousness, pure source consciousness, our original state. Very simple, very easy, not complicated. Pure love, love consciousness, love DNA. The birds are playing. I get to listen to a symphony every morning and every evening, and mostly throughout the day. It's absolutely beautiful. And you guys will see me. I'm staring off into I get all up in the, Gaia's consciousness and universal, all the clouds and everything. So when I'm looking off, or that's what I am. I'm all up in the energy of nature. That's beautiful. Okay. Original states of consciousness, rebalancing of magnetics, electromagnetics, a rebalancing, a recalibration of our bodies and our fields, a recalibration process constantly, a recoding process constantly. I've talked to a few people lately, and they keep waiting for this to end. It's not going to end. It's going to continue to accelerate. This is about acclimating. This is about our ability to stabilize everything and hold this fully within ourselves and maintain this as our new way, living, ever since December amped everything up and moved everything into a different place. The completion of the 12D template just changed everything. Everything is about divine flow. Everything is about the divine plan. Everything is divinely timed. Everything is divinely aligned. It's actually so simple now. So simple. So if you can remember that, your purest, most profound, deepest, simplest place your deeply connected heart. This is what matters, guys. And how you show up, and how you live your life, and how you connect, and how you engage everybody in your community, and how you act in your behavior, and how you treat each other, and what you accept. This is what matters here. When you live your life fully aligned, your life will be aligned, and it will be very simple. You will have roles to fulfill. There are things to do. We all agreed to this. And it's a part of the process. The only thing is that it's so beautiful. I want to say one more thing before we go. And I've said this recently a little bit more and a little bit more. I didn't realize, some of the things I've been doing with a lot of the people I've been working with over the years was creating a whole new infrastructure inside for realities. And working with the infrastructure so that when things start to shift and change, it's actually very easy to maneuver. It's very easy to shift and move in flow. It's actually very easy to do this because of how different multidimensional existence is, and what's required of us with our physical bodies and our physical realities too. And so everything, if we will allow it to be, awakening through beauty, awakening through softness, awakening through simplicity and ease and grace. Our ego chooses the other path. We awaken through beauty. And so this whole month, every moment has been just beyond beautiful. Just pure beauty in everything. Pure presence in everything. This is how it's supposed to be, everybody. A lot of people live in this. A lot of people loving this. A lot of people having a blast. It's amazing. And what's funny, not really, but I'm using words. This is our original state of consciousness. This is where we've been living from for years. It's just the magnitude for this to be every experience can be as simple as each person allows it to be. The ego will complicate everything and keep the old going. Pay attention to your ego. Pay attention to the resistance. Pay attention to how much you're holding on to. Pay attention to how hard you're making things. Pay attention to trying to live by old anything, old mindsets, old programming, old belief systems, all of that old stuff. Letting it all go. Pay attention to your judgment. This will be your prison. Pay attention. Everything you judge, you will create to experience for yourself. It's really important. It's really important to really be fully in tune. It's really important to live from this soft, beautiful place inside of you. Yeah, I met somebody, had somebody flying the other day, and we were hanging out. I'll post pictures later, but she's like, Lisa, you're so soft. And it's so funny because people see me interviews and stuff, and soft is how we live. This is our natural state. I've been this way for years. It's just that most people don't get to see that side of me because I'm always teaching. Well, when I'm teaching, we're breaking ego programming down. Well, of course you're going to get the stronger part of me because it takes a lot of energy to break the old ways. It takes a lot of power to break the old ways. And so, when I'm doing interviews, I'm teaching. I'm sharing knowledge, but I'm also teaching. And if there's any egos present energetically, I can read the entire quantum field, and so my energy will be as strong as it needs to be to get through. Okay? So, anyway, I'm shifting how I'm doing everything too. And I cleared my calendar. We're working on all the book publishing deadlines and all the translators that are translating everything and those publishing deadlines. So we have a lot of stuff to accomplish and do. And as everything is ready, we'll put it out. But the purpose of this video is to say I love you guys. And I hope your month has been absolutely amazing. And that you are experiencing the exquisiteness of what's available to. And that your every moment is fully conscious, so that you are creating and expanding and exploring and playing and accomplishing in a divine productive flow that's available to each one of us when we do. So I love you guys. Thank you so much for your service. Thank you so much for everything that you do. Thank you so much for your dedication, for your caring, for your love, for showing up, for sharing, all of these things, for your kindness, for your generosity, for being the example in your reality, for being the way shower, and for making a difference by being your light too. So I love you. Mahalo. And I will do something as soon as divinely aligned. And you guys will see me. I have events. I'm always doing stuff. You just have to go to my website to see it all. I'm not announcing a bunch of stuff right now just because we're doing our realities with ease. I love you. Mahalo.